my friend, it's Pat Sloan here. So this is a very exciting day. Super, super exciting here in video land at my studio. So watch. What do you think is in there? Yes. This is the plaque. This is the 100,000 subscriber plaque that YouTube sent. So excited. I'm so excited. So let me show you. Of course, I stuck the label right on the front of that box. I mean, am I really going to keep the box? But it would have been nice if the label was on the back side. Okay, so they've got some junky junk on there. And here it is. This is the 100,000 subscriber plaque. Look at this. Look how beautiful. And it is mirrored. Oh, let me bring it up here. So it is this kind of like a mirrored finish in here. So like if I look at it, I can see myself. So that's pretty much a mirror. There, you can see in there. And it says, it's all very light type. So there you go. I think you can read it there. Yes, perfectly. How fun is that? So I think what's going to happen is where I have that Pat Sloan sign, now you'll never know my name again, right? Then we'll put that up there because, oh, there's little fuzzies, because that'll fit right up there, right in that spot. So I'll put it there for a while. Also, Mr. Greg was so cute because it came with a letter from the president of YouTube, and he went and put it in a frame for me so that I could enjoy it, and then I'll hang it up somewhere here in the house where we have some other fun documents. So the winner was emailed for the quilt for the 100,000, but I am filming this before I heard. So next week, because remember there's no video on Monday, so on Tuesday I should have that information and tell you who it is that it'll go to. So I was getting ready to put these away, put these up in the pink bin, which is here, and I thought, oh, what if I did for Florence here a ballerina pink, a little ballerina pink border, not too big, just a little bit like that. And I went and got, this is the extra gray that was sent along, which is the same fabric. So I will just, because the face is right out at the edge, I don't want to put a border right at the face, so I will put, like a 1 or 1.5 inch of the gray, and then this pink. I think that'll just be nice and simple, won't take away from Miss Florence here. Yeah, so that works. That means I can get her done. Yeah, get that sewn on there while I'm cooking, while I'm making the chicken salad quilt. So I think that same fabric that I just used in the fruitcake will be just wonderful with Florence. Now, there couldn't be anything more perfect than the mail that came today as well, which is from Peggers in Indiana or Iowa. I have to read her handwriting. Iowa. So Peggers in Iowa sent me a little note, and she says she thought she'd provide a label for Miss Florence. Now, Peggers, how would you know that your mail would arrive the day that I am deciding that, yes, I know what border I'm going to put on Miss Florence? Oh, my goodness. So she sent me a label. There we go. So I've got a nice triangle label ready to put on Miss Florence. And then she had to send me another critter. Oh, my goodness. So pretty. It's one of the moths. Look at that. It's Elizabeth Hartman. It's a moth. Oh, look how pretty that is. So this will go with the critter quilts, and I will put a link to the pattern name. She gave me the pattern name. Oh, this is some of my fabric. This red. I think it's the Morrison Park, right? Now I'm getting too many fabric lines. I can't remember the names. Speaking of fabric lines, I added drawing room and I was negligent and didn't have much of porch swing up there on my fabric page. So all of the porch swing stuff is there, and the drawing room, which is the coming fabric, which will be here, oh, maybe in a month in your stores, or might be in the stores a little bit sooner. So I'll be starting to talk about that in September. So I'll wait until, you know, wait till somebody has it so that you can order it when I show it to you and talk about it. But we'll have a sew along for that and some other fun things. So Peggers, thank you so much. This was perfect. So it could not be more perfect timing. Could not be more perfect. Alrighty, I think, what do I else I got on there? I'll do a wrap up. We'll talk about chicken salad now, and then I'll have a couple other little things to remind you about. Reminders. Okay, we're going to go to the other side. For those of you who might just now be learning about the chicken salad list, chicken salad quilt along, let me just give you a brief what is. The chicken salad quilt was designed by Lori Holt, and it had all these chickens. So they're applique, all these applique chickens. And when she did this quilt along a couple years ago, the Fat Quarter Shop, Kimberly wanted to do this, but give an option with pieced blocks instead, and no chickens. You know, just so it's a chickenless chicken salad. And basically taking each one of these blocks and substituting a pattern from Lori's books. So she has 2 books that we're working from, because the theme was to keep it sort of food oriented, kitchen oriented, that kind of a thing. And then using her fabric line, which, cookbook. Okay. Ooh, I was like, almost like, what is the name of that fabric line? Okay, so her fabric line cookbook, which I believe is what she used for this as well. So the pieced one, I actually had here, this is it, I've been showing you. I had it here in the studio, and Fat Quarter Shop actually auctioned it off for charity. So it's now lives somewhere else, so I couldn't get it back to show it. But I will link to the video. And I would just probably put it on the project page of where I had the quilt here. I've got to figure that out, but I'll put it on the project page. Where are we at? I am making the version with all the piece blocks, but I'm going to talk to you, not so much today, we'll talk another day about the chickens. So I will do a chicken and show you fusible applique by machine. Lori Holt does turn and flip applique. There's many other types of applique, but I will use her templates and show you how to do fusible applique by machine and do a chicken on another day, not today. Today we're just going to focus on the fabrics, where the patterns are for the piece blocks. So I did a little list for you. This is my own worksheet, but I did a little list for you that's on the project page that tells you which books the different shapes are in, the blocks are in. And we're starting out on the top left, first row, top left, which is the cherries. And the cherries are in the first book, The Farm Girl Vintage. Now there are more blocks from Vintage too. So if you don't want to buy both books, or you don't already own both books and you just have this one, either way, either one that you have, you can just do all the blocks, just pick other ones that are not the same as what I'm doing. So I have the Fat Quarter bundle from the cookbook fabric, and I'm just doing it just like the original. So I will be showing you the fabrics from the original so that you can see what they're like, and I'll just talk a little bit about the properties of them and stuff like that, because being that they're very exuberant prints and have a lot of pattern and a lot of movement, I'm just going to talk a little bit about how you think and work with those kind of fabrics. So first of all, in the Farm Girl Vintage book, you want to go to the cherries, which are on page 54. And the big tip is the blocks come in 6-inch and 12-inch. And we are doing 12-inch. So our ambassador, Suzanne, highly recommends you cover up the 6-inch. And so what I'm going to do is make a post-it note that's trimmed. I'll just trim it off so that I can cover up the 6-inch so that you don't accidentally just look down and cut the wrong size, because that can be very easy to do. You know, that's just not fun to cut everything wrong. Well, then you have the 6-inch blocks to make. But It won't fit in your quilt as nicely. Hey, before we get to that block, let's do that. No, let's just look at the fabrics for the block first. Okay. I've already pulled the fabrics. So I have the background, which I'm using this for all the pieced background. The amount you need is, I gave you what the Fat Quarter Shop told me that they went with, and that is on the project page. I don't remember it off the top of my head. So the cherries, and I'm showing you what the cherries are like here, fabric pick, from the finished quilt, not this. This is different fabric lines. So they're the cherries. It looked pink in the picture to me, so I was all confused. I was like rating Suzanne, our ambassador, going, where's the pink fabric? Because there are actually pink fabrics that look like this, and I thought it was this kind of pink, but it's not. It is actually got a red, see, like a red weave behind it. So those are the two. So watching this, you get, and I'm also going to share a picture of this so you'll see it. The stems are this brown, and then the leaves are these greens, and I think they're like this, the dark on the bottom. Well, I think it goes opposite. One is this way and one is that way. Yeah. So it's, one direction, one the other direction for the leaves. And so those are the fabrics for the block, and you make this cherry. Now what I want to do before I talk to you about the sashing stuff is let me just show you the worksheet for that. And that is the free download, and it's on my website at the project page. I love to make quilts. You want to go there. So what we've got is behind here, if you go past all the chicken stuff, which we'll talk about another day. I'll just do a separate chicken day when we're not doing a block. So this is the diagram, and you've got, this is the block that we're doing first. And what I am going to do right now is show you the fabrics for this, the side and the bottom of the frame. Those two, so that you can see what's going on. This is all sort of border, so we'll deal with that a little bit later. We'll make a few blocks, and then maybe we'll make a border 1 week in addition to the block, that kind of a thing. So, but I want to make these as units, so the next time I'll do the block and a side and underneath. Next time I'll do a block, a side and underneath. Do you see? Side and underneath. And that way each one is a unit, and when I get all 4 of these done, I can sew this vertical together. Okay, so what do we have for fabric for that? Now, I am going to show you the exact fabrics that are used in the quilt that I had borrowed. So let me just put this as the block. Okay, so pretend this is the pieced block. And then here are the fabrics. I have to be upside down and backwards. Okay, so we have on the top left, and then I'm just going to show you. So there's a light background with these great big blue flowers, a lot of teal, and then a darker navy blue. Then right below it is a yellow with the plates and the cups and the teapots. Isn't this all stinking cute? Look at how darling this is. Did your family have any sugar things and creamers and stuff that look like that? Are they coffee? Is that a coffee pot or is that a creamer? There's the teapot. See, that guy is. Okay, so he goes underneath, and then at the corner, this corner right here is these cherries. Cherries on blue, green, navy, aqua. And then under that is another really, really fun. Oh my goodness, the windows. The windows, the jam jar. Look at the jam jar. Looks like Fiesta ware, right? The plate and the cup. And then here's the canisters. Just all so cute. Look at this. Look, that carafe. So that goes in the center, and these are directional somewhat. Like you can decide whether this one has direction or not. This one's definitely directional. And then we've got this piece, which is, it's tossed. The chickens are tossed, or roosters. Are they roosters or chickens? Okay, you chicken people tell me, does it go this way? Does it go better that way? I'll have to look. It almost looks to me like a sideways thing. And so that'll be here. So what I'll be doing is making this cherry now, and then I'll cut all these, and then I'll have this picture, and I will be putting it on my website and on the project page so that you can see the exact fabrics used. So, and then you can also watch this video again so that you know exactly what all the fabrics are, because I've just shown them to you. So there we go. So I've got to get the cherry made, and I will I'll be back. We'll be back. We'll meet on the other side after I make the cherry. Here it is before I've sewn it together, and you can see how wonderful and busy these fabrics are. Okay, let's keep it real here. I did two things wrong. First, I didn't cut this vertical. I cut it horizontal because the pots and stuff were all sideways. I can't have that, so I'm saving it, hoping another spot in the layout has it horizontal. And then I cut both the cherries the wrong size. I cut them a half an inch too short. I don't know what I was thinking, so I had to remake the cherries. Now these squares here, the directions, the layout you have, I went ahead and just wrote, there's only two sizes. There's a 4.5, there's 4.5 by 4.5 for all the squares, and 4.5 by 8.5 for all the rectangles, the whole thing. And that is in the each fabric line, that this pattern is written so that each piece of fabric, it tells you how many to cut, and I prefer to do it a different way. I prefer to look at the space and then figure out what the size is. So I just wrote it on mine. Okay, so what would happen if we did something less busy for these? Let me just show you with a bit of navy fabric what it would look like if you did a different kind of setting. So what if instead you did something like this? You used a bunch of your navy fabric for all the setting for the whole chicken salad quilt. Then, it would be it would be darker. Like if you did an approach like this, it would be darker than the other fabrics, which you might like, because the other fabrics are all medium tone. Let's just look over here a second. These are all medium tone, which means they're like a very low contrast. They all sort of blend to each other, versus the navy, which is very, very distinct. And you could work on even having them all much more tonal and not have the variety that I have right there. But that's just a peek to show you an option. Here it is, all sewn together, so you can see the that's the sashing on either side. I think on the layout I pointed out that these were done in verticals, but I had in my mind we would sew horizontal, like the next one would be the pairs. So I don't know, I think that's what I'm still going to do. Horizontal, and then we'll just sew units as we can, something like that. Anyway, I don't want to confuse people, but I think we're going to go horizontal across. So that sort of makes more sense for me, like looking at it to sew. I don't know. So we got a couple other things. I got a really cute thing in the mail from Reeve in Colorado. Look at the pretty card she sent. This is a G's Bend quilt on there, and she sent me some fabric with mushrooms. Oh, so cute. It's a jelly roll. Here's a companion fabric she sent along. It is one of these jelly rolls that Jordan Fabrics cuts by manually. They make their own jelly rolls that they cut, which is super cool. I have never had one, so I am looking forward to sewing with that. And do you see the super cute, did I say it was super cute yet? I think I did. Yeah, the mushrooms are so darling. excuse me There are two other things before we end. One is in 1916, the National Park Service. This day in 1916, the National Park Service was formed. And I just think that is awesome. You know that Riley Blake has done a bunch of national park posters. There's various ones. They're getting a little harder to find. But there's also the map, which I did for my niece. And this is the map I did for her. I just quilted it. You buy the panel just like that. She is a park ranger, Ranger Kate, in Chincoteague Park. And we're so proud of her. She's done such a fabulous job as a park ranger. And so she got this to put all her buttons and pins that she's been collecting as a park ranger. And the other thing is tomorrow is toilet paper day. Do we celebrate toilet paper day? Well, during COVID, it was one of those items that just went, we couldn't get for, and it was like, you do not want to do without toilet paper, right? Let me tell you. So I have always, this pattern has been out for, I don't know, 10 or 12 years. It's a really old pattern. She did a fabulous job at Java House, and some of you have made it. It's super cute. It's on my list to make someday for the bathroom, just for the powder room. I just think it would be so, so cute to have in there. Remember, I have a few other things going on that I'm doing, and so I'm taking in the month of August a few extra days off so that I can work on some other projects. Just a reminder, next video is Tuesday. Okay, my friends, thank you a zillion times over for making my channel reach 100,000 subscribers. I can't even tell you how amazing this is. 15 years ago I did my first video, so I just never thought I would ever have this many subscribers. And I really love that you support me and appreciate you so very much. So I love you. I love you, right? I already did that, so I thought I'd do it again. Thank you for being here in the Sloan Zone. I will see you online.